Hey guys, Peter here to do a concert review. Yes, a concert review. A virtual concert because those are the only ones I'm able to attend these days. I really miss driving 4 hours, then struggling to find parking, then overpaying for parking, then waiting in line in the cold, and then overpaying for beer while getting squeezed between sweaty dudes and sweaty girls, flicking their hair around, hitting me in the face with the possibility of losing an eye. Those were the things that I used to complain about, and now I miss them dearly. But yesterday, Unleash the Archers had their virtual album release party on the internet, and anybody who purchased a ticket was able to see the performance live, and then the performance is held on the cloud, somewhere in the clouds. It's held there for 24 hours for people to watch. So today, you can still go and watch it. Still there, still available, still somewhere in the cloud, floating around in the cloud. So their new album is out, Abyss, and this live stream was important from that perspective because not only were we going to listen to some of their old hits, you were going to listen to a lot of the new material from this new album, and this is perhaps the only way you have of listening to that new material because there's not going to be any tours and there's not going to be any live shows for a very long time. And I really rate this album very highly. I really like the record and I really love the band. I really feel like when I think about Canadian metal, at the top of the heap is Unleash the Archers. And I'll be extremely shocked if Abyss doesn't get nominated for a Juno because it definitely deserves that nomination. Now, the performance was really interesting because, like I said, they were playing at a venue in Vancouver, so it had a little bit of a live feel to it. It was not done in their jam spot like they did the European Metal Alliance show. So this had a little bit of a different feel, had a little bit of a different vibe. And the first thing that I noticed was perhaps the first thing that everybody noticed when you're watching one of these live streams is the audio. Then the second thing is the video. So starting off with the audio, I really like the mixing on the audio during this performance. Britney's vocals were outstanding, as they always are, really in the forefront, really leading everything else. They were not muffled, they were not hidden in the mix. You were really not losing anything from her during this performance, and I love that she starts off always with that trademark high pitch, high note that she just reaches, equivalent to me stepping on a Lego almost. But I don't have that quality. I can't hold it for too long unless I'm stepping on several Legos in a row. But she does it, and she starts off the day, not the night, because the concert was during the afternoon. So it starts off the day with that high intensity, and you know you're going to be in for a ride with these guys because they're going to put on a great show. And from a sound perspective, I was really impressed. I really like what they did. There was nothing really that I would say that wasn't all right, or that you know, maybe you lost something during a track, or I didn't notice any technical difficulties as far as sound is concerned. I thought it was perfect. All the instruments were well balanced. And the most important thing is to have her vocals in the forefront to really dominate the performance and to really lead the way, to be the conductor of everything else that is happening. Now, from a video perspective, I also was not surprised, but I was happy to see that they just didn't take one or two angles from what would be the crowd, from the front of the stage, from the crowd. I like the fact that they kept the cameras close to the stage, so you didn't get the perspective of watching a live performance with no audience, because you really saw the performance as if you were standing on the front row. I like that aspect. If you film a little bit too far back and you see the area where the audience would be and that it's empty, it kind of deflates the balloon a little bit. It takes a little bit away from the mysticism that it is a live stream, because this way you kind of feel like you're there, you're virtually there on that front row, listening to the band. So I like that aspect. The second aspect, and the one perhaps that I enjoyed the most, was the guitar angles. They had the camera on the arm of the guitar, so when there was a solo, you'd get the perspective of the solo being played, like your eyes were right there on the hands. You could really see the guitar solo. I wish they had a few cameras like that on the drums. They had a few angles for the drummer, but I would like to see a camera by his feet for so some of the songs, when you have a little bit more intensity coming from the drums, you'd get a better angle. That would be just like icing on the cake. I'm perhaps being a little bit picky here, but if they did that with the guitar, I would have loved to see that with the drums as well. I think it would enhance the overall performance, and would definitely enhance the overall experience. But the camera angles were really interesting, and once again, I really like that. I think this is the first show that I've watched as far as the internet streams are concerned, that I've seen the camera angle on the guitar like that, so you can actually see the solo, you can actually see the hands going up and down. I love that. I thought that was really a nice touch and really elevated the whole experience of watching and listening to this performance. As far as the set is concerned, I was expecting what we got, which is the new record and then the classics. And they did a very good job mixing those in, alternating songs, so you don't have a lot of one and then just a little bit of the other. They did a great job starting off with a new record, playing a bunch of songs from the new album, then dipping into the vault, then coming back into the new album, dipping into the vault, and then finishing off with some tracks from the new album. So I thought that the mixture of songs, the mixture of choices was really good. It really gave you a glimpse, not just of the new, but of the old, as far as Unleash the Archers is concerned. And they gave me exactly what I would want if I was to buy a ticket and go see them live, which is a lot of the new record, but also a lot of the old material. The other aspect of this concert that I thought was interesting was that it went over the hour mark. It was almost an hour and a half, around an hour and a half, which is different for me because all the experiences that I've had with these live streams have always been around the 1 hour mark. So this one went further than that. It was really a full-on headlining show, if you will. They played the same set that they would if they were headlining a tour, perhaps even playing more songs, and definitely playing a lot more from the new album, because this is obviously the album release party. But overall, I was really happy to get more than just 1 hour. I went in expecting 1 hour. When I got an hour and a half, I felt like I got more than what I had bargained for. So that's definitely a plus. I also enjoy the interaction of Britney with the audience, or the invisible audience, or the virtual audience, whatever you want to call it. But she did a wonderful job trying to, and that must be really difficult because you're talking to a camera and there's only one person behind the camera, there's not an audience there. So that must be a really difficult thing for her to do, but I felt that she did a wonderful job trying to connect, because think about us that are watching. This way, I still feel like there is an interaction between me and the band, so I really enjoyed that. And then last but not least, once the show was over, I really liked that they all came to the forefront the same way they would do at a live show, come to the forefront, thank the audience, and then the drummer threw his drumsticks to the invisible, or to the audience that didn't exist. I thought that was hilarious, because that's exactly what he would do during a show if there was people there watching that show. So the fact that he went and he did that, I thought it was just absolutely hilarious. I wish the guitar players had done that with the guitar picks during the show, throw some guitar picks at the camera. That would have been quite funny, and I think it would have added a little bit of flair to the performance. But overall, I really enjoy this, and once again, like I said, it's still available. It's going to be available. This was recorded yesterday. It's going to be available for, I believe it's 24 hours. I could be wrong. It could be a little bit more. But you don't want to risk it. You definitely don't want to risk it. So you want to go and check it out as soon as you can, so you can not miss this amazing performance by Unleash the Archers. Once again, perhaps your only chance right now in the short term to listen to the band play all of their new material from the new album Abyss, which, by the way, is out right now on Napalm Records. This is it for me. Come back tomorrow. We'll have more videos for you. Take care, guys.